Whether you like it or not, it's that time of year, which means it is time for holiday book recommendations. I have 6 book recs for you that I think that you should read this holiday season if you haven't already. So let's go ahead and get right into it. First off, I have In a Holidays by Christina Lauren. This is a Groundhog Day inspired rom-com. We love Christina Lauren over here. They are such a fun duo of great authors. I will say all their books are adult romances, so there will be a little bit of open door spice. These scenes are very skippable, and if I'm remembering correctly, in Holidays specifically, there was very few and they're easy to skip over. However, if spice is something you completely avoid in books, this is going to be my only recommendation that does contain some spice. So this one I would skip over, but the rest of them you should be safe. My next recommendation is actually going to be a young adult fantasy. That is Kingdom of Sweets by Erica Johansson. This book I read in 2023, and honestly, I still think about it. This is a dark fantasy retelling of The Nutcracker. I was a ballet kid. I used to dance when I was in elementary and middle school, and The Nutcracker is, of course, if you were a ballet dancer at any point, you know The Nutcracker. You were probably in a part of The Nutcracker. And this one is just such a crazy retelling of the original story. I think it's a lot of fun. It's a little bit dark, but not in like a spooky way. It is young adult. And there are just some really interesting, fun twists and turns in this. If you are someone that avoids dark themes in your books, it's not scary, but it is a little bit dark. So I would just say, be warned of some of that content. There might be other triggers, but not many. Like I said, this is young adult, so it is pretty safe as in terms of the content that is in here. And it's a really fun and fast-paced read. I would definitely recommend it around this time of year when you're looking for something a little bit different. Next, I have one that I actually read for Bookmas, and that video I don't think is out yet, so I'm not going to talk too much about this one, but that is The Holiday Cottage by Sarah Morgan. This is a really fun literary fiction, just lots of family drama. Our main character is someone who is a workaholic and has kind of a sad family life. She is kind of trying to distract herself from all of that stuff that's going on. She ends up kind of burnt out at work, and her boss is like, hey, you need to take a vacation, take a month off, whatever. And so she goes to this cottage that is owned by one of her clients, and there's just a lot that happens in this small town, in this cottage. There's lots of family drama, so it's very engaging, very addictive to read. This is adult literary fiction, but it did not have spice in it. The main characters are adults, so I mean, regular adult things happening. If you're a young adult, you might be interested, you might not be. But it is written for adults, and it is literary fiction, not romance. So there is a little bit of romance in it, but definitely don't go in thinking you're gonna get a romance, because you won't. Next up, I have The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year. This one I also read this year during a readathon. It is so fun. It is the perfect combination of fun rom-com and cozy mystery. It is a whodunit type mystery. It is just a crazy, fun, goofy, silly time. The characters are kind of all trapped in this big mansion, and the owner of the mansion goes missing, and then they all are trying to kind of figure out what happened to this person. It's an adult rom-com. From my memory, and I was reading this during a readathon, and I am the type of reader that does skip the spice when I read, so sometimes I don't always remember exactly if I had to skip points, but from my memory, I don't believe there are any actual explicit spice scenes in this book. However, there is definitely a lot of tension. Okay, next up, I have a classic, which is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. This is such a good book to read around the holiday season. The first chapter of this book takes place on Christmas, and so it's just a very classic, a cozy literary fiction classic to read around Christmas. Literally the first sentence in this book is, "Christmas won't be Christmas without any presents," grumbled Jo, lying on the rug. "It's so dreadful to be poor," sighed Meg, looking down at her old dress. It's just such a sweet story. It is definitely sad, so be prepared for that. It's a classic. It's a little bit of an emotional roller coaster. It's so just touching and just such a sweet and fun book to read around the holiday season. So if you're looking for a classic to pick up this season, I would definitely recommend picking up Little Women. And then last but certainly not least, I have The Christmas Candle by Max Lucado. This book is so whimsical. It's in a small town, and the theme, or like the main thing of the story, is like the Christmas candle, which is this like magical miracle working candle. So we have a couple different points of view in this story. There's a couple different family dynamics and relationships that you follow. There's some people going through some hardship, and essentially this whole thing is covering like the Christmas candle miracle. And it's a very sweet story about just loving your neighbor and how a small town like comes together to kind of support one another. It's a very cute. I listened to it on audio a couple of years ago, and it's super quick. It's a great listen while you're wrapping presents. I think that's what I did, was had it on in my ears like while I was wrapping gifts, and that was like perfect because it's short and sweet, it's engaging, but it's not like super heavy or anything like that. And it's literary fiction. So Max Lucado is also, if you don't know him as an author, he is a Christian author. So if you are looking for something with a little God sprinkle, that definitely has it. It's not like overly preachy or like over the top about like being about God necessarily. I actually don't even know that like God is mentioned at all, other than the fact that like this candle is like a miracle candle. But it's really just, it's sweet. It has very light themes, very just like heartwarming, cozy, and very quick, very fast paced, and just like a sweet read to have like around the holidays. Those are all of my recommendations for what I think you should pick up this holiday season. Please let me know in the comments if you have any book recommendations for me. I am gonna be just in my cozy reading era. I'm not doing like a ton of vlogs in December or like reading for videos very much because I'm taking a little bit of a break post Bookmas. So I will be looking for those like fun, just sit down and enjoy by the fire type of like cozy Christmas reads. So let me know which ones are your favorites. If you've read any of these, let me know what your thoughts are and if you would recommend them or not, or maybe what you rated them or what your thoughts were on them. I'd love to hear your opinions, and I will see you tomorrow for another day of Bookmas. Bye.